You'd pull a lever to kill one person, but not push them. Why? Same math, same body count, wildly different feeling. By the end, you'll see why your brain is running two completely different moral programs at once, and why one of them might be lying to you. Before we go on, if you find this sort of thing worthwhile, do consider subscribing. It genuinely helps. Here's the scenario philosopher Philippa Foot cooked up back in 1967. A runaway trolley is barreling down a track. Ahead of it, 5 workers are tied up, unable to move. In seconds, they'll be dead. You're standing next to a lever. Pull it, and the trolley switches to a side track. But there's a catch. On that side track, there's one worker, also tied up, also unable to move. Pull the lever, 1 person dies, do nothing. 5 people die. What do? When researchers ask this, about 90% of people say pull the lever. It feels obvious. Tragic but obvious. 5 lives outweigh 1. Simple arithmetic. Now hold on to that answer because we're about to break it. Same trolley, same 5 workers about to die. But this time there's no lever. Instead, you're standing on a footbridge over the tracks. Next to you is a very large stranger, large enough that his body would stop the trolley. You are not. If you push him off the bridge, he dies, but the trolley stops and the 5 workers live. Push, 1 person dies. Don't push, 5 people die. Same math, exactly the same math. But now when researchers ask this, only about 10 to 30% of people say they'd push. Most people are horrified by the idea. Something has flipped. And here's the strange part. If you ask those same people to justify it, they usually can't. They just know pushing feels wrong in a way that pulling a lever didn't. That gap between what the numbers say and what your gut screams is the whole puzzle. Neuroscientist Joshua Green put people in brain scanners while they wrestled with these dilemmas. What he found is wild. The lever version lights up regions associated with cool, deliberate reasoning. The parts of your brain that do math and weigh outcomes. The footbridge version lights up emotional regions. The parts that fire when you imagine physically harming someone with your bare hands. It's not that one version is a moral dilemma and the other isn't. It's that your brain is running 2 completely different programs and getting 2 completely different answers. Philosophers have a name for this split. On one side, consequentialism. What matters is the outcome. 5 lives saved, 1 lost, do the math. On the other side, deontology. Some actions are just wrong, no matter the outcome. Using a person as a human shield is one of them. You are, quite literally, of 2 minds. So which program is right? Before you answer, consider why you have both. For most of human history, you couldn't kill 5 people by flicking a switch. Levers that redirect industrial machinery didn't exist. If you were going to harm someone, you did it up close. With your hands, a rock, a spear. And harming someone up close was almost always a terrible idea. It meant your tribe would retaliate. It meant broken bonds, blood feuds, exile. Your ancestors who felt a deep physical revulsion at shoving another human. They survived, they passed on their genes. Your ancestors who didn't feel that revulsion. They tended to get killed or cast out. So you inherited a hardwired alarm bell that shrieks whenever you contemplate personally, physically harming another person. It's not a reasoned moral principle. It's a survival adaptation. The lever version bypasses that alarm because levers weren't a thing your ancestors had to worry about. The footbridge version trips the alarm because pushing is exactly the ancient act your brain evolved to prevent. Philosophers have squeezed this problem for decades, and every new variant peels back another layer. Try this one. The loop. The trolley heads toward 5 people. You can divert it onto a loop where 1 person stands. His body stops the trolley, saving the 5. If he weren't there, the trolley would loop back and kill the 5 anyway. Most people say pull the lever, but notice, you're using him as a human brake, just like the large man on the bridge. The math is identical to the footbridge case. So is the logic. But because you're pulling a lever instead of pushing with your hands, most people say yes. Or try the trapdoor version. Same footbridge, same large man, but instead of shoving him, you press a button that opens a trapdoor under his feet. Suddenly more people are willing to do it. The action is more distant, the alarm is quieter. Your moral judgment, it turns out, is exquisitely sensitive to how physically involved you are, not to what actually happens. You might think this is just a philosopher's puzzle. It's not. Self-driving cars are being programmed right now to make trolley-style decisions. Should the car swerve to save 5 pedestrians if it means killing its passenger? Engineers are literally writing your intuitions into code. MIT ran a study called The Moral Machine that collected 40 million responses from people in 33 countries. They found the answers change by culture. Some countries prioritize the young, others prioritize the many. Others prioritize the law-abiding. There is no universal answer. And it gets darker. Military drones, triage in overwhelmed hospitals, who gets a ventilator when there aren't enough. Every one of these is a trolley problem in disguise. The person pulling the lever is often not the person feeling the weight of the push. And that emotional distance, the same distance that makes the lever version feel easy, might be quietly reshaping how we make life and death decisions as a society. Here's the uncomfortable question. If your gut reaction against pushing evolved for a world without levers, buttons, and algorithms, should you still trust it? One answer says yes. Those gut reactions encode millions of years of hard-won social wisdom. Ignore them, and you get cold, calculating monsters who justify anything with a spreadsheet. The other answer says no. Those gut reactions are outdated code, running on hardware that never anticipated the modern world. When we let them steer, we make decisions based on how something feels, not on what actually helps. The truth is probably that neither system is fully right. Consequences matter, but so does the kind of person you become when you start treating other humans as objects to be weighed. The trolley problem doesn't have a solution. It has a revelation. Your moral compass isn't one needle. It's two, pointing in different directions and asking you to notice. So here's my question for you. In the footbridge version, would you push? Be honest. And more importantly, can you explain why in a way that doesn't also justify pulling the lever? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to see which one of your two brains wins.